let's talk log cabins. So I told you guys a little bit about Luke Haynes, who is a quilter and uses a lot of log cabins. So he made this American flag several years ago. And here's another picture of it just to show you kind of the scale. And then here's a close-up of a American flag made out of log cabins. So here's my idea. Now, you guys know, if you know me, you know I get a lot of wacky ideas, right? Okay, so log cabin, American flag. I have an idea to make something like this as a gift for Chris and Mike. Now, if any of you talk to her or him, I need you to be super duper secretive about that, because you know I don't think she watches all of my 3 things at 3, and so I want to make an American flag for the warehouse, similar to this. Now I did reach out to Luke Haynes. I asked him permission if he cared that I reproduced this and made my own. So what we're gonna do, oh goodness gracious, you guys, I always leave things on my desk and I forget to bring them. So similar to the triangle blocks, which I do have a couple, and I was gonna give a shout out to the people that sent one in, but they're on my desk. I apologize. So similar to my call out for a triangle block, this time I'm asking for a log cabin block or 2. Now, I reached out to my good friend Rebecca and I said, how many do we need? How many of the red and white do we need? And she said 147. So we need 147. Oh my gosh, there's 147 people watching right now. That is amazing. So we need 100. Oh, there's 150, even better. So we need 147 blocks that are half white and half red. This says, and hang it above my desk, right? Well, maybe she is watching, darn. I was thinking of the warehouse, and I just was talking to Allison, and she said there's a big blank wall as they're going up the stairs. I was thinking of somewhere, I don't know, I kind of was thinking of somewhere that when people walked in, they could see it in the distance and it would be really striking. So that is my idea. Now, if you guys are in, I will piece it and I will do the quilting on it. And I just think it'd be so fun. And you guys can, like, you guys have made Chris and we did a quilt for Barb. So you guys have already done these things. So I hope it's not asking too much. But wouldn't it be fun to have something like that hung in the, oh, Barb says, no, this is me, Barb, the flag lover. Okay, so maybe Chris isn't watching. Cleek, Sue says red centered. I think we're going to do a white center just because of the continuity. So yeah, they started with a white center. I know, typically it should be red, but we're going to start with a white center. So if you're in, we're just going to do like we've already done, but I'm going to show you how I will do it. And then we will, Kenzie says, or that could be Barb trying to steal it because Barb is a red, white, and blue fan. That is true. But so, okay, if you send a block in, you have to write for Chris. Just kidding. We know that Barb wouldn't steal it. Okay, Darla says size. So we want finished 12 inches. So unfinished 12 and a half. Debbie says, would you all make the kits to keep the colors the same? So we do have, for our daily deal today, we do have kits that we'll show you in a bit. Well, I don't have a picture of them, but they have a red and white fat eighth kit and a white and blue fat eighth kit. And so that is the way that we will kind of keep it. I think, I'm just going to show you what I pulled out. So I just call it like real red. I don't know. But it's supposed to be scrappy and it's supposed to be fun. So again, Darla and Mary both say, what size? So finished at 12 inches. Oh, somehow it says half have a red center. You're right. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So, oh man. Okay, strip size. Thinking 2.5 inches, cut at 2.5, and then sewn, so they're 2 inches. So Betty Joe. Joanne says, just include a pattern with the kit. I think we might be able to do that, but I will see. Blue-based, red, or yellow-based. I don't really know how to determine that. I'm sorry. But just think Americana. Americana. Ooh, I love this. Jan says, we make 2. One with a white center and one with a red. Perfect. So Kenzie, what they're saying is like, oh, you can't see my arrow. I like Jan's idea though. You guys, there's 162 people watching now. So even if everyone just did one, if you live close, you can bring it into the Sandy store or the Logan store. If you want to mail it in, you can do that too. Oh, Barbara says, too bad they aren't jelly rolls. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll ask the warehouse and see if they have any red, white, and blue jelly rolls. Okay. We're going to get back to, to the demonstration portion. So let's talk thing number 2. All right. So on my desktop here, I have, there we go. I just went through our scraps. So I don't know. I wonder if I can zoom. But that's the reds that I have. So this one is from Riley Blake, The Stars and Stripes Forever. This one, honestly, as long as it reads bright, cheery red, like a Christmas red, I don't know, 4th of July red. I found that one. Will that be too much for you, or do you think you'd throw that one in? And this is a Moda. So think 4th of July, think cheery. Okay, Betty Jo says, that's a blue base. Okay, there you go. You learn something every day, literally. And I just learned there's a blue and yellow. So this is a blue base, red. We're going to start with, I cut these strips. This is a low volume. So I just grabbed these, like I said, just grab these out of our scrap bin. So there's a few that are white. There's a few that are low volume. I think it will be perfect either way. Again, I cut 2.5-inch squares to start out with. I do like this. Whoever said the jelly roll. So if you have extra, Americana jelly rolls hanging around, that would work awesome. So this strip was cut at 2.5 inches. I'm going to subcut it at 2.5 inches. This is going to be my white. I'm going to do 2 whites and 2 reds. How's that? Kenzie says, I love the Scrappy look. Me too. I love Scrappy quilts. If you haven't, yeah, flag red. Yeah, Cindy, flag red. If you haven't checked out Luke Haynes' other work, he has some really interesting things. And he's just an all-around nice guy. I met him a while ago when he came to Handy Quilter. Just a nice. It's nice to be nice to the nice. Debbie says, sorry, got here late. What are you working on? Debbie, we are working on Log Cabin Americana quilt. I know it's fall, and you're like, Johnny, it is October. We are not in the Americana mood, but there's some super cute Christmas quilts out there, Christmas fabrics. So I'm just going to show that again. That flag. So this is the overall, that's the overall picture. So it's a giant American flag made out of a log cabin quilt. So I just commented Luke Haynes, Haynes. And he's done some really interesting things with log cabins. If you look on his Instagram feed or his website. And someone else I saw commented, he's just like a nice guy. He really is. Just a really nice. So again, Luke Haynes. So we are working on a log cabin quilt. This is to surprise Chris and Mike for Christmas, maybe, if we get it going, to hang in the warehouse. So we should put a deadline of, like, is Thanksgiving a good enough deadline? That's like 3 weeks, right? So if you can get them to me by Thanksgiving, that would be super awesome. Yeah, Stacy says he had a log cabin series of quilts. He did 50 that were all black and white and red, and they're just so inspiring to me. He also had a suit made out of it too. So if you find his suit, that's really interesting that he had a whole suit made. Okay, back to our piecing and subcutting. All right, I have subcut my 2.5-inch strip with 2.5-inch squares. I have one that's a low volume, and I have 3 that are kind of a low volume. I have 4 that are red. And I'm just going to stitch those down on, I'm going to start with white. And I think no matter, like, we'll make it work, you know? Don't stress too much. I'm going over here to my Baby Lock Altair. And I like to do needle down. This would be really nice if I had the knee lifter, but I don't have it on here. The knee lifter would be a nice add-on right this second. But so I'm just stitching that down. Obviously, right sides together. Yep. Oh, I didn't sing, you guys. Singing and sewing. I'm singing and sewing. Sewing and singing. You guys, full nerd. But I love it so much. I hope that, I hope y'all know how much I love it here. Like, this is like a dream to me to be able to do this. And we're just getting started. We've got a lot of fun things planned for next year. So, if any of you are coming to Pinner's Conference happens next weekend in Salt Lake. And we have a classroom. Chris will be teaching a couple of classes. We'll have a booth. We'll have all kinds of fun just quick projects like the pillowcase they did yesterday. We'll have some of those in different fun fabrics. If you haven't made a pillowcase use the burrito method yet, oh man, that's like one of my favorites. It just goes so fast and fun. And Heidi says, why is it called pinners? Well, it's based on Pinterest. So it's people who love Pinterest. So it's called Pinners Conference. Pinners Conference. So if you can see that now, I pulled that off the machine. I've got my pieces laid out there that I just sewed down. Now I'm going to just cut them again at 2.5 inches. So this is for people who maybe not necessarily like to cut all of these sizes out. I don't think I've ever made a log cabin quilt that way. But I just like doing it this way so that it's kind of fast. Again, it's very meditative for me. I love to just sit down and stitch up block after block. So as you can see, this will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks in just that fast, right? Obviously, we have a lot of sewing to do still, but yeah, it just makes it fast and easy. Also, it gets easy to make it scrappy. So I can kind of show you how the way that I like to do that too. So I'm starting with just one, and you can still see there. I wanted to share my cousin Wendy. You guys, I have a lot of cousins. My mom has 12 brothers and sisters. And they think they all had like 5 kids each, you know, so some a lot more. So there's cousins that I literally, if I saw them on the street, I wouldn't know. And I know that sounds bad, but a lot of cousins. So anyway, my cousin Wendy, love her. She showed this to her son, and he is like, oh my gosh, I love it. And he is super excited to make his first one. So I sent her a text right before this to see if he had finished it and made any blocks, and she said he hadn't. So I will show some next time. Hope that's not too loud. There's still 148 people watching. If you all make one block, we would be totally set. Totally set. Hey, Barb, if you're still watching, or any one of the girlfriends, could you put the address of the Sandy store in the comments? I always forget about these things while I'm in the mood. I mean, you know, AKA like the packages that I have. Betty Jo says, too cool. I have no cousins. Oh man, that's so sad. I was just asking Christy or Barb if you could send them to, just give them the little Sandy address so they could just come here. But again, if you live nearby and you want to drop them off at Logan, we can arrange for them to be brought down. Okay, now I'm going to press. And I'm going to bring my little Magic Olicio iron over. P.S. If you don't have one of these, we do have some back in stock here at the Sandy store. They are amazing. I love them because they steam so well. For such a small little iron, they steam super well. Okay, so I'm going to press outwards. So I'm going to press away from me on all these. And again, I always do that so that I get in the rhythm of pressing to the dark side. Press to the dark side. You can use starch if you want. Betty Jo says, can you please post sizes on the regular page so we can find them easily? Yes, I certainly will. And I'll try to figure out how to not show Chris. There's the address to the Sandy store, 9269 South Village Shop Drive, Sandy, Utah. Joanne says, is Pinners Conference an annual event in the first week of November? Where is it held in Salt Lake City? I don't know if it's annually. I know they did it last year, but I don't know if it's every year. It is in multiple cities. Like it is, I looked on the website and there's like 8 different cities this year. I thought it was just a Salt Lake thing, but it's all over. So there's like 8 different cities, and it is held at the Southtown Expo Center, now the Mountain America Credit Union Expo Center. So yeah. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you, Barb. You guys, shh, don't tell Chris. Shh, top secret. Do you guys think it's possible to keep something secret from Chris? I'm just wondering. Like a quilt? I think this is Barb. This year, Pinners Conference is going to be at the Mountain American Expo Center. So that's the one just south of here from the shop. And it is like on State Street. Sorry, Andrea says you need to sign up before the classes because they fill up fast. Yes. Janine says, how do we get the fabric? So we have kits on today's deal of the day. I looked about an hour ago and they weren't there yet, but they should be up by now. So if you want to do a kit, we do have some kits on today's deal of the day, 20% off, a red and white and a blue and white fat 8th bundle. I'll talk about that later. Mary says, should we put attention Johnny B? Heidi said that same thing. Who do we address the envelope to? Yeah, send it to Johnny B at my girlfriend's quilt shop. I think anything that comes, people will know that it's for me. So, I mean, as far as blocks, obviously. Mary says they're still not there. Okay. Let's check. Maybe Barb could check that out. Or Allison, Lisa, someone. Janine says, can they put it on another order? I think so. That would be definitely a customer service question. And yes, the phones are not working today, you guys. If you've tried calling the warehouse or the Logan store, the phones are out. I think it's probably like an internet thing. We had a big outage near me like the other day, and the internet was out for all day. So that's usually how it happens these days. So you can call the Sandy store, but hold off until tomorrow. Maybe that's why they're not up. Ooh. Elisa says email is working though, so I guess it must not be that. If you want to add it to an existing order, I think you could email. What's the best email for them, Elisa? Again, you can see me over here. I'm just pressing out. Okay, I have my first block done. Email is working though. What's the best email address for them to send that to if they want to request adding that to another order? Okay, now I'm going to do a red for the red and white for the white. Oh, no. I'm going to do white on all of them. Sorry, don't listen to me. I'm going to do white. So, sorry, Ling. Yeah, check back later for that deal of the day. Again, I have this low volume and I'm just adding, oh, I should show you better. Sorry. So this is my strip this is my new strip. This is the strip that I just sewed. And same thing, I always put the last strip I sewed on top. So first to go through the machine, so that I always do it the same way so I don't get confused. Because it can turn into a courthouse step. And like, that's fine. That's a cute block as well. But not what we're creating here, right? So I always put the last piece I sewed on, go through the machine first so that I keep track of it. And then I can add another one. Sorry about that. Okay. Lisa says we can't combine comments sold and website order, so beware of that. I apologize. And if you want to email them, it's info@mygirlfriend'squiltshop. If you're trying to call them today, then that would be a good way to get a hold of people is through email, because again, the phones are out. So I have 2 blocks here. I'm going to grab another piece of white. I didn't grab very many from the scrap bin. And the nice thing about whites is you can totally do them like inside out and nobody knows, right? Like, I mean, like low volumes. It's not too big of a deal if you don't get it right on, right? I start with my needle down. I'm singing and sewing. Okay, I'm just gonna put these aside so you guys don't have to watch me like sew forever in a day. Okay, now I'm gonna subcut these like I did before. I'm just lining that up. That's a big enough piece to be a center in the future, right? Line that up. We are doing a log cabin. Alicia says, have to run. Finish watching later. Have a good evening. Thank you, Alicia. Hope you have a good evening as well. So now I have a white center and I have 2. I have 1, 2, and now I have a 2 line, right? So I'm going to subcut these really quick too. So again, I really just like to sit down and sew blocks and blocks. I know maybe that's not everyone's style, but you know, give it a try. See if it's something that brings you joy or helps you relax. It's fun to put on some music, an old Hallmark movie that you've seen 100 times and you know the plot. Oh, Alan had the best joke. Alan. Oh, he can't hear me, darn. It's something about Hallmark movies. You know, because they kind of all have the same plot. Okay, Betty Jo says, I think the red strip you're using as a yellow base, and if you look at the right of Blake, you can tell it's more blue. Well, Betty Jo, thank you so much. And we're just going to kind of make it work from this point. Hey, Alan, was that you? Oh, I guess not. This one is a little orangey, but it's just a, Janine says, how wide is your strips? Okay, so I'm doing all 2.5, and we're going to finish at finished block 12 inches. So unfinished, 12.5. So if you do all 2.5 inches, then you can get to 12.5 easily, right? So again, I'm pressing outward. Heidi says, oh, you know me well with the Hallmark movies. Oh, they're kind of good though, you know. Barb, I love my Hallmark movies. Patsy, you lost me. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay. I am doing now just 3 blocks. I sewed 4 others with a red center, but I'm just going to sew these white center ones. So this is, okay, this is my white center right here. This is my first block I sewed. So the first strip that I laid down. This is my second strip I laid down, this one here. So can you see that pretty clearly? You can tell it's just barely starting out. Now there is the log cabin variation that you can just do like 1 in the center and then just keep building out this way. So you could just keep add this side, this side, this side, this side. Maybe, does everyone not know? Is there anyone that doesn't know how a log cabin block is formed? Maybe that would be a really good place to start. So on this one, you have a white center, and then you just basically keep sewing around in a circle. So I like to think of it kind of like a round robin. So you sew 1 block on here in a strip, then you sew 1 more. Now I'm going to sew this one. So I'm going to press this one really quick. I got my pressing here. And again, I'm pressing outwards. So I like to think of that block in the center as the center. And every time I press, I'm pressing outwards on that. So you can see that, right? Do I need to zoom that in? I apologize. And again, this one here, I'm laying it down. I'll set it really quick. And I'm going to press. Oh, you guys, the iron is hot. Just be forewarned. It's super hot. Okay, pressing out. Now you can trim here if you'd like. I don't usually trim every time, but maybe I put 4 strips on, and then I trim. So again, I have the first row that I added. Let's see, the first row that I added, the second row that I added. Now I'm going to add a row on this side, and I'm going to just add a strip. Now we're going to switch to red. So we want to grab a red. I'm going to use this cute stars from the scrap bin. Barb says, I never made one myself, but watch your 3 at 3. If you haven't, I mean, I just like it because, again, it's relaxing to me. I think it's fun. I like the variations that you can get with just a simple block that you can change something up and get a lot of variation. So I'm going back over to my machine and adding that row. And my thread breaks. Luckily, this has like the best threading ever. You guys, talk about magical threading on your machine. Holy moly. Holy moly. I just go like this. Okay. And voila, my needle's threaded. Ugh. I tell you, if you don't have that, I don't have it. I mean, I have it on this one, but not at home yet. But it's amazing. Okay. I'm going to start out slow. I'm adding I'm now adding the red strip. I'm going to add one more. I'm going to do all three of these. That was a scant 1/4 inch, I tell you what. And one more. So I take my strip, I lay it down. The last one that I sewed goes down first. I'm a super duper thread cutter. Yes, Janine says, so all the fabrics are not going to be the same fabric. Exactly. If you have reds and whites and low volumes at home, definitely add them in. Scrappier the better. That's what I say anyway. Yeah, scrappy. Okay, so here I have my 2 blocks sewn down to the first red strip. I'm going to, again, subcut that one, this one, subcut that one. Now I have my first red strip. I'm going to do it on these here too. That again could be a good center for a red center. What I like about this a lot is that there's not a lot of waste from cutting. I definitely don't like to waste fabric. I think it helps to use up scraps. And if you want to do other sizes and oh, sorry, I guess I better clarify this. Betty Jo says, okay, I'm confused. How will you make the flag stripes if the blocks themselves are scrappy? So every block is going to either be half white and every block is going to be half white and half red. If you want to do blue, it's half white and half blue, or all blue. But I think we're just going to ask for specifically white and red. That way, we'll have reds on one side and whites on the other. Does that make sense? Am I losing people? How many blocks we make and what colorway? So ideally 2, 1 that is half, well, you can just make 2 or 1, whatever, half white, half red. So see, for instance, this one. Okay, see, for instance, this one here, I've now added a red stripe. My other helpful hint is when you get to this point, you want to add a row to the row that has an opening. So see how this has 1, 2, 3 on this row here? That means I need to fill that opening. Does that make sense? Maybe show the outline of a finished log cabin on the finished quilt. Ugh. I really wish I could do that with my current technology, and I don't know how to do that. I will post it in the friends group. Everyone here is on the friends of my girlfriends, right? Leanne, maybe show the outline of a finished log cabin on the finished quilt. I will do that on the friends group. I will do it from my phone and then put it there. Okay, back to our 3 blocks here that we're working on. I now have 1 red strip. I'm going to press. I'm going to press away. And that wasn't like the best. It wasn't the best sewing job in the world. Like, we'll just say that. But, you know, we're going to make it work because we're on live Facebook. So now I'm just pressing these. Again, I'm pressing away from the center. Pressing away, pressing away, pressing away. This one. Pressing away, pressing away, pressing away. And now I have 3 partial blocks that each have a red strip. Betty Jo says, so the next one would be red on the seams with sides. Yes. Oh my gosh. Barbara, you're right. If you could just finish one of your blocks, that would be helpful. I'm running out of time too. So I'm going to take this cute block and I'm just going to finish 1 block, if that works for everyone. So next I'm going to do a red down the side. And again, if you get lost or confused, you just keep adding it around in a circle. So 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, 2 red. In whatever order, in that order. Oops. Gotta use my thread cutter. Hop to it, Janine says. Okay, chop, chop. And I should have brought another color, but I apologize. I mean, a different. Okay, I'm trimming. I am trimming. I'm pressing. Set the seam, pressing with the seam going out. That iron is super hot. So that's the back. That's the front. So I have a center. I have 2 white, 2 red. So notice this one, again, there's an empty. I just think of that one as being like an empty hole. I don't know how to reference it, but. And someone said I did a good Elf reference. I wish I knew what I said because I do love Elf. Okay, Cheryl says, when you look at the picture, look for the small center block. It's on an angle. It took me a minute, but I found it. So yeah, it took me a minute too. So look at this one and see how these are all at an angle. So you have a, I wish you could see my computer screen, but anyway. So see, you have these going diagonally. You have half white, half red, and then half red, half white, then half white, half red. And again, they have a white, this one has a white center, this one has a red center. So do you see that? Yeah, Betty Jo says on point. Yes, correct. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to hide this picture, show you now I have more of this low volume with super happy sunshines, and I have this empty space here. I'm going to lay that down, right sides together, so that looks like such as. I'm going to sew it. And on this one, I like this one because I push the top seam up and the bottom seam down. So that way, again, I can keep all my seams going the same way. If you want to press them open, man, bless your beautiful hide. I don't do that. Does not bring me joy yet. Maybe someday. And if you want me to sing Bless Your Beautiful Hide, I certainly can. Bless your beautiful hide. Again, show tunes are our fave at the house. The doggies love show tunes. All right. So now I have that one. I'm going to subcut it. I'm going to press it away from me. So press out. Set, set, set. Press, press, press. Bless your beautiful hide. Hey, 7 brides, that's right. Isn't there 2.5 red next to the center white? Yes, but not a square. Not on this one. So now I have one more white. So I have an opening. I'm going to add another white. And it's the same super cute sunshine. Because why? Because we like you. Name that one. Betty Jo says, we speak in show tune lines and movie lines in our house. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I think people think that we have, I don't know, something. Oh, goodness gracious. I think we're still good. Nope. But guess what? I have the magical needle threader. Bless your beautiful hide, wherever you may be. Or is it wherever she may be? I don't remember. You're the one for me. Oh man, it keeps coming unthreaded. I apologize. I'm coming unthreaded. But I think you get the picture. So that one is added on that side. And from there, I would add red. So thank you for watching. Again, I will put some more instructions and photos in the Friends of My Girlfriend's Facebook group. Now, if you guys talk to Chris, I don't want you mentioning anything about this. This is top secret. That goes for all of you at the warehouse too, and in the office and all y'all, okay? No spilling the beans. All right. Oh, thing number 3. I guess it's not on there. Did someone check to make sure that the... Okay, 20% off of red and white or blue and white Fat 8th kits. They're not on there yet. There are still some super cute pillowcase kits. So if you haven't nabbed one of those yet, you better get there. So give them some time. I don't know what's going on. I apologize. I called and talked to someone and they said that's the deal today, but it's not on there. My girlfriends, I'm assuming this is Barb. Mum's the word, okay? Joanne says, post the finished product later. I certainly will. Annette says, thanks, Johnny B. I really love log cabin blocks. And me too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. have fun sewing this week. Again, if you're feeling down, take a walk in the sunshine. That will solve any evils. That will cure anything. A walk in the sunshine. All right. Appreciate you. Love you. Talk to you later.